So today we'll be learning about framework. Okay, so how to design a framework, and for that we'll be taking this particular URL, which is a demo URL, and which you can use for your testing. And it also have some test cases with it. So we will try to at least automate this one particular test case using our framework, so that you'll understand how in real time how we'll be automating the test cases. Okay. So as you
Okay.
know that this web page is a combination of different sorry, this website is a combination of different web pages, just like the book, right? We have a book, and we can call the website as a book, and each web page is one page of that book, and each page has a page number which will uniquely identify that. Similarly, for this you have this address which uniquely identify this. Okay, in this application for this particular test case, I'm just dealing with two pages. That's it. Okay. Now, the next thing is that let's understand the structure in which we'll be designing the framework. So, framework structure is basically in the first folder, we'll be creating three folder basically. So, in the first folder, we'll be having a generic folder in which we will have the Playwright specific functionality. Let's say we are taking a screenshot, we're doing mouse over operation, we are dragging and dropping, we are doing sliding and all. So, these are Playwright specific functionalities. Okay. So it is independent of any application you take. You will perform the same action using those same code. It is not dependent on the application. The scrolling you will be performing in website 1 also, you will be performing in website 2 also. These are playwright specific functionality. It has nothing to do with your what application. So that we can put here in generic folder. Second is pages. In these pages, what we'll be doing, we'll be creating one.ts file for each of the pages of the application. Okay, when we create one page for each of the pages of the application, so there we'll be putting only the locators and the functionality for that specific page. When it says functionality of that specific page, for this page, I'll put the locator of these two and put the functionality of doing login. That's it. In the second page which I'll be creating, okay, in the second page which I'll be creating, that there what I can do is, there I'll be putting the locators of what? The second page. Sorry, it's telling invalid. Let me log in again. Username,
Okay.
password. Okay, so again I'll create a second page in which I'll have the locators of this web element what is present in this page, and the functionality. What is the functionality I'll be doing? Logout. So that I'll keep here. So in the first page, I'll be keeping the locator of all this web element which I'll be dealing on this page, and the functionality of login, because that I'm doing here. Similarly, in the second page, what I am doing? Second page, I'll put the locator of whatever web element I'll be dealing from that page, and the logout functionality.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? Similarly, based on your application and the test case, you have to design pages and put the functionality and the locators in that. Okay, then third is the test folder, which we already have, and in which we write the test cases. So there I'll be write the test case for that. Okay, understood? And then the fifth thing is that what I can have a data. See, all this data, right? This student and password 123, that I cannot hard code in the code. That what I have to do, you keep it in a JSON file, external JSON file. From that external JSON file, I'll be reading those data. In real time also, you cannot put your username, because today, let's say this username is valid. Tomorrow, maybe this student left and this username is not valid. So you cannot hard code in the code. If you hard code in the code, means you have to go to all the area in the code where you have hard coded and to change that. And that is a tedious job. But if you are reading from external source, only in one place in that particular file, you can go and change it. So every test data will be keeping it in the JSON file or the external file, whichever file you are using. Basically, we use JSON file, so we'll be keeping it in the JSON file. And from there, I'll be reading those data. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, so the fourth component is your test data.
Okay.
We are using JSON file here. JSON file for test data. Okay. Now, you understood the structure of the framework which you'll be creating?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, here what I have done is, this is a fresh folder. Just I have created a fresh folder and I have done npm init playwright to install the playwright in this folder. That's it. So it has created a test folder for me. That's it. Just a fresh one. Nothing has been done in it. Just I created a folder, opened the folder in this Visual Studio and ran this command npm init playwright. So it installed the playwright specific things for this folder. Okay. So this is the fresh folder. So here we'll be trying to design the framework and automate that particular test case of that URL in this particular framework. Understood?
Yeah.
So what we can do, I can go to the folder. Okay. I can go to the documents I have put it. So I'll go there, framework. So I have to create one folder. First folder is what? Generic.
Okay.
Or here we don't say generic, we can say util. Util we can say. Okay. Then second is the pages. Page. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's go. So let me open our like for our that folder in which we are creating our in which we are basically covering our topics in this class. So from there you can see how I am utilizing those functions. Okay. Till now what we have read, how I utilize, you can see that. So this is our folder in which I was we were doing all the activities, right? We are studying, right? So this one we are not using any framework, we are directly coding it. Okay. So what basically I'll be doing here is, let me tell you. What I'll be doing here is, see, login I'll do for this thing. Then I'll go to the second page and do a scrolling. Now scrolling becomes a playwright specific method. It is not dependent on anything. Yes or no?
Yep.
It's not dependent on any URL. So that thing, how I'll using the generic folder, that you can see. So I'll use one of the functionality in the generic folder so that you can relate how we'll be using it in real time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so here now I have one utils where I can put the what generic functions. Let me create web utils .ts. So here I'll put the generic functions. Second is the page. In this page I have two pages. One is home page, and after login we have the user dashboard page. So I can create two pages here. One is the home page, home.ts. Then second is your user dashboard. Okay. So we created the page folder now. Already we have a test folder here. Yes or no? Already we have a test folder here. So when you install Playwright for the first time, it create one spec.ts. We'll not use that. Maybe we'll use some other. Let's say our login test case. Login.spec.ts. Okay. So I created one test file here. And what is the last thing? Last thing I have told, we'll be creating a file. It is creating here. How to create outside. Again, it is creating inside util y. Let me do one thing. Create inside the file explorer only. So data.json will be creating. New text document. I can put in the data.json. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So we created one data.json where we'll be storing our what test data. So let's
Test
store the
data.
test data first. Okay, let's store the test data first. Okay, user. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. So I have created a test data JSON file here. So we'll be storing the test data here. So let store the test
Okay.
data first. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say user one. This is student one test data I am storing. So username is
Mhm.
what? Student.
Student and okay.
And the password is password 123. That will be storing here. Okay, so we created one JSON file where we have the test data. Okay. Second thing, what we need to do? Second thing, I'll create a generic. We have already created a generic what Playwright specific method, and we have created a file inside that. I'll be just using one generic function, so that I'll be writing the code for this. Now, in real time, you can use all the things. And whatever website I'm creating, just I'm creating it is like whatever things I'm using. Now, tomorrow you may need mouse over, drag and drop. All those functions you can have here. For now, for our test case, we just need the scrolling thing. So just I'm using that. Okay. So let's understand how I'm using the we have already read how to do all this activity. From there, how I'll be interpreting it, so that you can get a link how in real time you'll interpret all the Playwright specific but methods or functions which you have used. Now just file upload I'll integrate. See, sorry, I'm telling file upload. Scrolling will integrate. Okay. See, here we have used some methods, right, to scroll. Yes or no? Here we have used some
Yeah.
method to scroll, right? So these all I will be keeping it in the generic folder and we'll be reusing it. Okay, let's see how to call that and reuse it. This you have done without framework. Now we'll be doing this same functionality using framework. So what I can do,
Okay.
I'll just copy the scrolling thing from here. Okay, this one I can copy. Paste it, evaluate. These all we can copy. Control C. So I'll be creating one. See how I am integrating. You just try to understand. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So first we have to create a class. So this actually need to be inside a class. So let me create one class. Class web utils. So do it. Tab. Okay. These all also we done that. Public static async. We can have scroll to bottom. Scroll to bottom. This we can use. It's all leave it. Okay. Now I've created one class. Inside the class, I have created one function. There I'll be writing the code. And here I'm making it export. Why I need to do export, that also will understand. Okay.
Okay.
Required. Control V. So again, what I can do, I can copy the headers, whatever I am using. That's it.
Okay.
Control C. Okay. You see how I am using it for framework creation, so that you can understand how in real time you will be integrating whatever you have learned till now for framework creation. Okay. So scroll to bottom, what we'll be doing? Page dot await, page dot evaluate. So here we need to get one page. So page dot evaluate window dot scroll by, but we are interested in scroll to bottom. So this is one method. Okay, so this is one method I have created that will be scrolling to bottom. Next method what I can create? For sliding. So this is for sliding. Okay, we have used this
Okay.
is for sliding. Okay, so let me create one method, public static async sliding. Slide. Horizontal slide. This is for horizontal slide.
Okay.
Horizontal
Sliding.
slide. Okay. Here also same thing. I'll create one function. I'll write the code. Simple. What do we need for sliding? Don't need this. Leave it. Just delete. Oh, sorry. Control X. Prepared. Did we create inside that? Okay. This is this. Oh, sorry. This is this. You need to have a which. Okay. Now see. Basically, what I did here, I did two methods. One method, what it will do, I'll just remove the space so that you can better understand. So one method I have created to scroll to the bottom.
Mm.
Okay. And the other method which I have created is for what? Horizontal sliding, which we have already
Uh-huh.
read in our previous classes. So I'm trying to show you how to integrate that. Okay. I'm trying to show you how to integrate that. So here basically, see here what I need, the external thing, one is page. Because here earlier what was happening, we were initializing that place in which in the test class itself, we are writing the test here, we are initializing the page here. But here what is happening when you are doing a framework, your page will not be initialized here. Your page will be initialized here in this test class. From there, you have to pass it. From there, you have to pass it to this particular page. So how you will do that? We'll understand. So that's why I am taking one argument page in the function. So it will take it from the test folder. It will get on passed. Understood?
Yeah.
Here two things will pass. Here page will pass as well as this locator will pass because it will not have the locator. Locator again will be passing from the tooltip because Playwright specific method doesn't know what is the locator for your root page. That I need to pass it from the test file, which are website specific. This is not dependent on the website. It will just perform the operation. So we cannot initialize the locator here. I have to pass it from the different folder to this particular thing and it will use that and do the activity. So that for that we have to what? Pass it. So it will be argument in the function. Understand?
Yeah.
So the second argument for this will be locator. Locator. Just leave it. Okay. Sure. Now see what it is telling. Unresolved. Why it is unresolved?
Mm.
We have to import locator here.
Okay.
Locator. Okay. Now it will work. So we have to remove this. See. Now we have created two functions. Shift Alt F.
Yes.
See. Now it created the perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now see. you use Shift Alt F to create it, means beautify the code. Okay. Now we have a
Okay. Okay.
class. We have a class in which I have two methods. One will scroll the page to the bottom. Okay. One will do horizontal scrolling. And in which one I have to pass only the page, and the second I have to pass the page as well as locator, because for scrolling to the bottom we don't need any locator. Okay. But for horizontal scrolling we need the locator. So along with page I have to pass the locator also. Understood?
Mm.
The first
Yeah.
method. So here just I have integrated two things. One is for horizontal scrolling and one is scrolling to bottom. So based on the requirement, if you need drag and drop, you need a mouse over operation, this drop down, all this, that, you can integrate everything here. Only the Playwright specific function, nothing to do with the website. That all thing you can integrate here. Yeah, just for this test case, I need only one thing. Two things, only one thing, that is scrolling to bottom. But for your understanding purpose, I've included one more thing, that is horizontal scrolling. But only this thing I'll be using. Understood?
Yeah.
Now, the next thing what I have told you, the next thing what I will be doing is I will be creating the locator and the function for that particular page. Okay,
Mm.
locator and function for that particular page in the page folder. So I created two fold pages. One is home.ts and another is user dashboard.ts. So let's create. Okay, the first home.ts. Here also I'll be creating what? Class.
Mm.
Class homepage. So I created a one variable let page is equal to page. Okay. The second thing what I'll be doing, this home page will implement web utils. Now see, why I have used export here. Let's try to understand it. If I see in this home page, what I'm doing, I'm extending web utils. I'm extending this class web util. That means extend means I am inheriting web utils. So what is inheritance? Inheritance means if I inherit someone, automatically I have all the feature which he have. Let's say you inherit your parents. As a result, just for example, so whatever property, home or car they have, automatically you can also use that. That is also yours. Okay. So same thing. Inheritance here also. That means if I inherit a class, I will automatically have all the functions. Here, there you have the properties. Here you have the functions. Whatever functions you have here, even if you don't redefine here, okay, that is already present in home page.
Okay.
That's why
Mm.
that's why I have to keep the class export. If I don't have I have not used export class, then it cannot be inherited. Okay, only those class which have export, that only can be inherited. That's why I have used the export keyword here. Okay, so what it will do? It will inherit. It will inherit this particular class. Web utils in home page. That means home page by default will have all the functions and variable which are defined in the web util class, although it has not defined it. Understood?
Yeah.
That's why I have used export keyword there. Now I created one variable that let page is equal to page. Then what I can create one constructor. You understand, right? What is constructor?
Yes.
Okay. So constructor is a method. It's just like a method which will be called when the object is initialized for that class. When the object is initialized for the class, even though you don't call that constructor, it will be called. So basically, all the initialization thing, we keep it here.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now see what I did. I created one page variable that I am initializing in the constructor. That means this dot page, when this page is equal to page which I will be getting from object creation. In object creation, we'll be passing that page. Okay. So,
Okay.
and this constructor will automatically be called when object is initialized. We need not to call it. And as it has already extended a particular class, I have to use this super keyword. What this super keyword will do, it will automatically call the constructor of web utils. Now, when you have not
Okay.
explicitly designed, now you may ask me, you have not designed any constructor here. Yes, that also fine. If you don't explicitly design any constructor, this playwright will automatically create a constructor. That will be the default constructor. So it will
Okay.
automatically be called. But here I have explicitly designed a constructor. That's why I have to call the super. That means this super means it will call the constructor of the parent which it has inherited. So I have inherited web utils. So this will super will call the constructor of what? Web utils class. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
The next thing I have to, first I created the page using which I'll be opening the website. Okay. So page is done for create. What is page? Page is a fixture which will open the website in this particular URL. For that we need a page. Next thing I need the locator to access this web element. So let me create the locators for this. So I can use ID is there, username, let's say is it unique. No, that is one of two. So let me use something else. Okay, we have username also here. Oh, okay. This is a part of document, so this will work. Yeah. ID username only one time in present, so this will work in our locator. So I can use this. Okay. So what I can do? Private username locator. Then private password locator. Login button locator. This I can do. Then I'll be
Okay.
initializing them inside the constructor. This dot username is equal to this. Okay. So I'll be initializing them inside the constructor. Can use this. Okay. The next thing is that I need this password. So ID password also we can use. This one. What is it? Then the next thing is login button in which I'll be clicking it. Okay. So that we can use. Submit. So ID submit we can use. Control C, Control F. One of two. Okay. This also we can use. So you understood why instead of one of two we are using? Because when I write has submit, that means it's a locator, which means ID attribute whose value is submit. But here I'm getting two matches because one I have ID is equal to submit. The other is I am having some text where has submit is there. So it will not recognize that when we are using it as a constructor. So even though I am getting one of two, I am using that. That is okay. Okay. Now next thing is what? I'll be designing the functionality what I'll be doing basically here. In this particular page, what functionality I'm doing here? Tell me. In this particular page, what I'll do? I'll just log in. Yes or no?
Login. Yes.
So I'll read data from the JSON. I'll log in and then I'll be designing that functionality in this particular page. So for that, what I'll be doing?
So we
So
have to create that username.
no, we have to import that JSON path. If you remember,
Okay.
same thing, JSON reading. Read JSON we have used here. Remember, same thing what we'll do. We'll be reading data from the JSON. So here we have imported one, import data, same thing we'll be using. Just see how I'm relating that. I'm copy pasting so that you can relate. So my file is where not inside files folder. So it is outside. So I can use outside, but I can create a folder also. If I write, let's say I can create a folder here also. New folder files. This data.json, I can put it inside these files. Okay. So what will happen? Inside file folder, it will be there. Data.json. So for reading that data.json, I have already understood how to write it. So I wrote import data from files data.json. Now I'll be creating one method in which I'll be doing login. Okay. So for that, what I can do? Public async login. Yeah. So I've created one method async login. Username and password. I'll be reading it from but data.json. But that also I need to pass it from test file. I'll not read it here. I'll just use username.fill, whatever functionality I can do in this page, I'll do password.fill and login button.click. That's it. This data, basically, I was thinking of reading it here, but let's do it from the test file. Let's read the data from test file rather than reading it in the page file. Okay. Okay. Now, when I did login, what it is telling, I'll do login. Then verify. Once I do login, I have to verify that I open this page. Let me copy this page. Then I have to create one more this thing. Is a dashboard. Just copy paste this. Then create one class. Class is a dashboard. Now, what is the next thing? We don't need this. Okay. So what is the next thing I'm doing? I'm creating a dashboard page. So what that dashboard page will do? Let's copy all this thing. Let's copy all this thing and put it here. Whatever validation we need. Dashboard. It will throw error. Leave it. So these all things I need to do. Okay. So or else do one thing. We'll be copying it from the previous file. I'll log in. Okay. I'll do login in this tab. In the previous tab also it is open. So I can see what are the steps. Okay. So let me copy first. We'll see. Control V. Then Control C. Control V. Submit. So we came to this page now. So I have to write the locator for this login in successfully. What it is trying to do? One, it is URL. It is trying to validate that we can validate. Then it is trying to validate this message that also we can validate. And logout is displayed on the new page that we want to validate. That also we can do. Okay. So let us write the locator for these three buttons. Two web element. This one and this one. Anyways, the other one we don't need because that URL is already present, so we can validate. Okay, so for these two, I have to write the what? Locator. So this I can use by get by text only. Success message. One is let's say success message. Success message. This success message, what I can do? Page dot get by text I can use. Get by text. What is the text there? Login successful. Okay, next is logout button. Okay, so for logout button, what is the locator? Let's see. We have any ID here? Same logout only we have. that we can use. Control C, Control F. One of two. So where is the second one? The second one. First one is where? Okay, first one is not the text. Okay, so we can use that get by text also. But this also. Not get by text. Okay, so we created the locators now. Okay, now what we need to do? Login success we can do. Then one more method I can create for doing logout. Logout. Okay. Verify login message. So what I need to verify as per the, so it is telling verify the new URL contain this value. So what I can do? Expect this dot page dot URL page dot URL to contain this value, right? What it is telling? This value. That URL contain this text. That means whatever URL I open, it should have this value. See, it has right practice test login successfully. That only we are verifying. Understood?
Yeah.
Next. Next validation, what it is telling?
So log out.
Yeah. That it is visible. Next validation, it
Yeah.
is telling that verify the new page.
Verify the new page. Yeah.
Okay, again it verify this text is not there or not, and logout is displayed. This two is not there or not. We need to verify. So that is pretty simple. What I can do, I can just have this two locator is visible or not. Await, expect. This is the success message, not success. Yeah, success message to be visible. Same thing, await. Not this one. See, Control V. Instant logout button. So whatever is required for the test case we've done right in the two pages. I have to deal with two pages. Whatever locator I need, I created here. Whatever function I will be doing, I just did it here. Second thing for the same second page, whatever locator I need, I created, and whatever functionality I'll be doing, I did it here. Yes or no?
Okay. Yes.
In the two pages I've did it. Now
Created.
what I was trying to do is that here also I can use the scroll to bottom method of WebUtil class. I've already told, right? It is not mentioned here. In this test case, it is not mentioned. So what I can do after login, I'll try to scroll to bottom. Okay. Then I will verify. Like after 4, let's say my test case is that scroll to the bottom of the page. Okay. Then what I can do here, I can do scroll to bottom this dot page. For this, what I have to do is I have to create a object of WebUtils because I'm using the function of a class. So what I need to do? I have to create an object of WebUtils. Private W WebUtils. This dot W is equal to new WebUtils. And this dot W dot wall to bottom is not present, but it is present. Yeah. Okay, it is static. Okay, so do you understand what is the difference between static and what is the difference between what is static and what is non-static? Do you understand?
Oh,
Now this is a static, so I can directly call it using the class name that is WebUtils. I can directly call this dot WebUtils dot this one, but why it doesn't exist in Okay, I can use this also, sure, because it is inherited, right? What happened? Oh, spelling is incorrect. Uh, Now see, what I have
Yeah.
told, what I have told, see, this is present in this particular class, web utility class. Now this is a static data member. This is static data member. That's why I can directly call that function using the class name, that is web utils. If it was not a static data member, if this was not a static data member, so I couldn't have called like that. See, it is throwing me error. So for that, what I have to do, I have to create a what variable for that class and then initialize that variable inside the constructor using new web utils. Then I have to call it using the object of that class. Then I have to call using the object of that class if it is not static data member. So understood what is the difference between static and non-static? If it is a
Yeah.
static, if it is a static function, I can direct just like this. If it is a static function, I can directly call using the class name. But this is non-static, it is not static. So what I have to do, I have to create an object of that class or variable of that class, then initialize
Mm.
it using new that class name, and then using that object, I have to call that particular function. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So here you saw I am using the function of util class. So you saw till now what we created on util class, we have the playwright specific functions. Then we created the page class. Inside the page class, I have the locator and functions to that particular page. Then inside that place class, I am calling the function of util class. Clear?
Yeah.
Now the next thing what I'll do, I'll be creating the test class. This is my test class. Yes or no?
Yes.
Show. Let us create
Fine.
tested before all.
Okay.
Sorry. Now see. Now see. I've written import homepage. Now I'll be creating an object of this two page. I need object of these two pages, right? Homepage and user dashboard.
Mhm.
Then only I can then only I can call the function of this pages in my test class. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So for that, I have to create a object. I'm not extended. I'm not inherited it. I have to import these two class. Now when I'm importing, it is throwing me error. Why it is throwing me error? Because those two class are not export. For importing or inheriting, the class need to be export. That means it is available for importing and extending. If you don't use export, that means it is not available for importing or as well as inheriting. Okay. So now you'll see the error is gone. Understood? Now what I
Yeah.
did, I created two object or variable for those classes, then before all. So as we have already read in Playwright specific method, that before all is called before every test execution. And after all is called after every test execution. Now, always remember in automation, it's a rule that each test case is independent of each other. That means if test case 1 run, it will log in, run the test case 1, then log out. Then in test case 2, again it will log in, run the test case, log out. It is not like it will log in, it will run test case 1, test case 2, then log out. Why? Because what can happen if we follow login, test case 1, test case 2, log out. Let's say it logged in test case 1, some error occur, it will stop the execution if that error occur. Even though test case 2 is working fine, it will show in the report that it is failing. But we don't read that. If test case 1 is failing, then it should only fail. Test case 2 shouldn't be fail. So for that reason, in automation, it's a general rule that it should log in, execute the test, then log out for every test. Understood?
Yeah.
Now, if I have to log in, execute the test, log out, I have to write that login and log out in every steps. I have to write that login and log out in every steps. Yes or no?
Mm.
But that will be, I'm writing the same code again and again. So for that reason, I'll be use the playwright specific method that is before all and after all. So in before all, I'll have the
Okay.
login code. In after all, I'll have the logout code. And in the test, I'll have the normal code. So what will happen is just, I'll write the login logout once, and but it will execute for all the test. Understood?
Yes.
So for that reason, in before all also, I'll do the initialization. Because for each test, I don't need to do, like I cannot write the initialization again and again. So what I am
Mm-hmm.
doing, in before all only, I'm initializing those pages. Okay. And I'll
And
call
after
the,
all,
login thing here. So for login thing, what I can do, home page. So home page dot, what I can do, login. What is the method I've used? Login. Okay. What I would do when homepage, I have the login method in the homepage, right? Here in homepage, I have the login method, and I have to pass the what, username, password?
yep.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So what I'll do here is, see, I've done is homepage.login, and this username password from where I am reading from data.json. So it will be data, see, data.user1.username, data.user1.username, and data.user1.password. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that I am passing it as the argument, because the login accept two argument in which it will login, username and password, that I am passing here from the JSON file. I am reading the data from the JSON file here. Understood?
Yep.
Now I logged in. Next is my what? Validation. So await username dot verify login success method I'm calling to validate, and await username dot logout. A logout I'll be putting in after all. Okay. So test dot after all see logout. Understood what I did? Ask me.
Uh,
Understood?
uh, no, I don't get it that.
See what I told you, that for every test case I'll log in and log out and do some
Yes.
activity. So login and
Yeah.
logout is common for all the tests. So that I'll be putting in
Yeah.
before all and after
Before
all.
all. Yep. Yeah. That
So
I know. Yeah.
login and initialization I put in before all, and the
Mm-hmm.
validation part for the test case I put in the test. Okay. Then
Yes. Now got it. Got it. Yep.
logout I
So
put it
after
in
all,
the
you
after
have to.
all.
Yeah. Yes.
If I have another test to log in, means to do something, that I'll again put here in the test. Okay, let's say for the second test case, again I have login thing, right? And logout
Mm.
thing. So that I'll put, and some activity I have to do, I can put it in the test. Okay, let's say, let me do that also so that it will be clear. Okay, see, let's say before login, let's say I want to go to practice. Click on this practice. Let's say one of my test case is that I will click on practice and verify that this practice thing is coming. That is one more test case. Clear, right? Yes or no?
Yep.
So we can do that. So that will be
Yeah.
clear. How? Control 1 of 42 I'm getting, so I cannot use that. So let me create one locator for this. Let's see. 1 of 40. Yeah, I can use this. Okay. So let's say there is one more test case in OH in user dashboard. Private practice. Locator. Let's start locator. Now what is the locator we find out? Hash menu.
Item, item, yeah.
I can use it.
We can.
So this is for the second test case I'm writing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
practice success.
Hmm.
Then private practice text. Is not finished. Okay. So let's say I click on that practice. Let's say this message should come. Let's say this message should come. Test expectation like that. Control C, Control F, Control A. It is 1 of 2, 1,
Hmm.
and this second one. Okay, it is present somewhere here, right? Okay, it's not an issue. Text expression, we can use nth locator. So here I can use get by text. Dot get by text. Okay, now my second test case is that you log in, click on the what practice test and validate that that particular text is present or not. So public async navigate to practice. Yeah,
Okay.
this is practice dot nth of 0 to be visible. Okay, so this is my second text. So what I have to do? Again, I have to create one test case here. Okay, so for that I create one test case. Let's say test. For this also I log in, log out. This is my second test case. Okay, validate practice navigation. Navigate to practice. Yeah, this is correct. Okay, so for this also I log in, log out. Instead of writing that login, log out 2 times, I just write it in before all and after all. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now we have created the test file, which is reading data from data.json. Sorry, before each and after each is run, before every and after every test, right? I have used before all. So it should be before each, sorry. Before all means it will run one time before every all the test. Like I have 2 tests, it will run one time before execution of both the test. Right. And after all will run after one time after executing all the test. But before each and after each will run before and after every test. Right. So it should be before each, not before all. It should be after each. Okay,
Yes.
in this home page, I've just put username password. I've not opened the URL in the first place. I have to open the
For
URL,
that,
right?
yes.
So for that, what I can do, I can create one method. Okay. So after constructor, I can create one method to navigate to that URL. So this also from data file I can pass it, but for now I'm just putting it. You saw how to pass data from data file, right? So for now, just I am trying to pass it from here. Control C. So I'm click here. Control V. So in login spec, what I can do, I can just use that navigate. Wait, homepage.navigate. Once you navigate to practice, there is no login button, right? I have to go back, then I can
Then you
but
have to
log out. I have to go back, then I have to log out. Yes, understood. Or else I have to click the home button. Home button also will not get. I have to go back. Okay. Then only I can log out. So for that, what I can do is practice.click. Then wait. This dot page dot back. So see, go back is what? Returns the main resource response. Navigate to previous page in history. Okay, navigate to previous page. So I will be going back. So here, before logging out, I have to go back to that page. Okay, I have to go back to that particular page. Then only I have the logout button. That's why I have to write a code here to go back to the particular page. Now, in this particular Playwright config.ts, actually for me, 3 browsers are open. But I want to run it in only Chromium. So what I can do, I can just comment other two. Okay. Just it will run in Chromium. I don't want to run it in other browser. And one more thing here, undefined means the thread count is 8. So it has 8 thread now. So, but I have only test case, only two test case which will run in Chromium. So 2 thread. So here you can see it will run it in 2 thread. Parallel execution happen. Here parallel execution will happen because the number of instances is 2 here. If my 3 of the browser was open, then it would have been 2 into 3 is 6. So it would have use the 6th thread. But undefined means the count is 8. So till 8 it can achieve the parallel execution. So you will see it will run the test in 2 thread now because I have just commented the other two and just Chromium I have kept visible. So enabled. So it will run only in Chromium. So 2 tests in 2 thread. If it was 3 of them, then also it would have run in parallel because the undefined is 8. So 2 into 3 is 6. Anyways, it is less than 8. So that also would have been run in parallel. If it is more than 8, then parallel execution may not be achieved fully. Okay. So you'll see if I run now, it will run in 2 workers. You saw, right? It ran it in 2 workers. So, say too fast. Now, if you see the report, npx playwrights just open with that. Now you'll see the report. See, 2 tests is passed with all the steps, whatever it is. See, before all, after all, everything is there. Evaluate, everything is there. Understood?
Yeah. It's doing everything.
I did a end-to-end automation using framework. Yes or no?
Yep.